Hi guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to our new property purchase. We purchased this property at auction and it was initially on a guide price at £185,000, but a guide price doesn't necessarily mean that it will sell for that. In fact, it's just a starting bid that entices in buyers to think, oh, that looks cheap, I'm gonna see if I can get my luck on that. But what actually happened was you have to meet a reserve price, and as we were going through the bidding war, we eventually hit that reserve price at £200,000 and we secured this property behind us. But I want to show you a property next door, because this property went on the market recently for £375,000 and it sold within days, which tells us that that's a good buy. And our sold house price comparables shows that once we've done a refurbishment to this property, it will be in the region of £350,000 to £400,000. Now, one thing I don't advise doing, which we did on this one, is we actually never viewed the property before we purchased it. And there's a big reason for that. I would never usually do it, but we were actually traveling at the time in Thailand, so we couldn't be here, and it was at auction, so we knew that we weren't going to get back in time to view it before it started. Now, luckily, my mum and my sister came to view this property for us, and it meant that whilst we were traveling through Thailand in the back of a minibus, we were actually placing bids at auction. We're actually moving into this property now, and as you can see, we've just got our duvets and our bedding, and our mattresses are in the garage. And we're moving in because we want you to do this as well. You know, if you want to get started in property, you might buy, not a very nice property to begin with, but at least you can live in it, you can see what potential that it's got. It's hard, but obviously it's very rewarding once it's all finished. Let's go for a walk through inside our new home. So, first room is a hallway, and then you step into the kitchen. Obviously it needs a lot of updated work, but luckily we've got a decent Worcester Bosch boiler, which is firing up okay, so that's fine. But this room will actually become a bedroom, and we'll get onto that later on in the video, but we're going to be moving the kitchen and the living room and all the living space to the back of the property because it's got a lot of potential for the back garden with big bifolding glass doors. So we'll move on to that later on. And this is how the seller left it. We've actually done nothing to it. It's actually the first time that Kush, who's filming now, has seen where she's going to be living for the next few months and years ahead. So yeah, let's now go into the living room, which is currently the living room, but it will be changed. This is all going to be coming out. This is a good sized space. Again, this will become a bedroom. We're going to have the bedrooms at the front with potentially an ensuite at this point here on this side. But, a very good large open space to create a bedroom. But me and Kush are currently deciding whether or not to take up the old carpets, because they're a bit old and a bit smelly, just whilst we're living here, and maybe just kind of living on the original floorboards, which are in good condition. Or we go out to a local carpet shop and we replace it just for temporary purposes, because what we don't want to do is go out and buy brand new carpets and then we start knocking down these walls and they're just going to get ruined. But we also want to make it nice enough for us to live here whilst we're living on the refurbishment. But then the other side of that is, if we go and buy carpets, we're just maybe wasting our money anyway. So something we've got to consider. We're actually thinking about it right now as we're recording. So this is a side extension, which the old owners have done, and it's a little bit colder in here, so obviously we're a little bit just concerned about the insulation in this part of the building and whether we need to add any more to it. And because this house is a corner plot, it actually gives us an opportunity to take an extension from this wall here with the window, and if you see the end of our property there, we could take the wall, providing we get planning, all the way down to the end of our property and create even more living space, which I'll show you when we get out into the garden. Let's go take a look at the rest of the house. So again, through the living room into the hallway, and here's the toilet, which is separated from the rest of the bathroom, the shower and the basin. So what we're going to be doing here is, whether we choose to keep this bathroom here or not is to be decided, but wherever we put the new bathroom, it's not going to have a wall in between. We're obviously going to make it into one room. Then into the bedroom. So this property currently has 2 bedrooms with decent sized storage space. But again, if you remember at the start of the video, I said that we're going to be moving the bedrooms, which are currently at the back of the property, we're going to be moving them to the front, because we'll see this wall here, it's going to be knocked down. And if we add the extension and the wrap it round, again, this is going to be just one big space, which will be the kitchen potentially on this side, and then living room, dining area on the right hand side. Let's go take a look at the final bedroom. Obviously this wall is coming out. Again, this is going to be the kitchen and living room once we've finished. And because we have this beautiful garden which we can utilise, we want to make all of this wall and the wall in this room totally glass. Plus, because the sun actually rises in that corner over there, that's east, which means that this room is quite dark throughout the day. So we're gonna, hopefully, if we can get a permission, we're gonna be putting an apex glass roof in this part of the building, so that when the sun kind of rises up, it's gonna be flooding through from the top and give that wow factor. And I'll show you what it looks like at the back of the property. So, if you can imagine, there's a couple of, the best case scenario for me and Kush, what we want to do, before I talk about the glass first, is if you see these flagstones, which run all the way across here, plus this part of the property, this wall, which we can take from the side extension, we can bring it all the way across and all the way down, which means that I'm now standing in what will be the new kitchen and living area. And then if we have the glass, all of this front part here, including the gable end, is going to be just pure glass, either in black PVC or sage green, which we quite fancy. I'm looking at Kush to see if she nods. So that's our plans on what we think to make this property into. Now, one thing this property did have was potential structural problems, and I'm saying potential because we don't think there's anything wrong with the property. We're going to get another surveyor to come out, but essentially this tree has caused a few problems, but it's been our saving grace because it's allowed us to buy this property very cheap. It put a lot of people off. It was the reason why it was at auction, and it was the reason why no one could buy it first with a mortgage. It was only cash buyers only. Now, what we've done is we've had a tree root barrier installed, so you can see this soil line all the way across. And a tree root barrier is essentially metal sheets that you dig down, you put metal sheets in, and it stops the roots getting to the property and to the garage. So luckily we've been able to stop that now. This property has a lot of storage space. So we've got the garage on the right hand side. We've also got this neat little tool shed on the left hand side, which is where all the DeWalt stuff will be kept. And then the garage is garage. What do you say? What do you say? And that's the garage, which we've left the light on, electricity bills. So a lot of storage space, and these are our new mattresses, which we're going to be sleeping on until we get our bed frames, which have been delayed on the delivery times. So we're just waiting for them to come. But yeah, we're going to be sleeping on that tonight until the bed frames arrive. So yeah, I'm going to get some football nets here, practice some penalties, and yeah, maybe like a barbecue area in the back. Lots of ideas, but you know what? The back garden is the least of our worries. The inside is what we're going to be focusing on to begin with, and then that will hopefully allow us to see a vision of what we want this to look like once we've got our extension built. So obviously we're over the moon to have secured this property. It's actually my birthday as well, so we're moving in on the day of my birthday, which hopefully is a day that we won't forget. So yeah, we're excited to move in, get cracking on with the refurbishment, get the plannings application submitted, and yeah, take you guys along with us to see and hopefully inspire you on the furniture that we buy, the materials that we use, and inspiration on designing properties. We're going to be going bigger and better with any other project that we've done previously, and we're going to be taking you guys along with us with all the furniture and the materials and the inspiration that goes with it. So make sure to hit that like button because it really does help the channel, and subscribe to follow along with this journey, and comment down below for any ideas that you would do to this property so I can steal them and put them inside.